to another episode of Tales of Middle Earth. As you know, I'm your channel host, Adam, and today I am here with a There and Back Again tournament review. I haven't done one of these in quite some time. I'm going to start sort of doing them for the 2019 events that I attend. Starting in January, we had the GT finale for our 2018 OSGBL League event. It was ran by Ben Boomer, Father Justin, and Joseph Hanlon. It was a 600 point event. I think it was 40 point total or 40 model limit. There's 4 rounds. It was held January 19th, 2019. Instead of doing it December, they decided to do it in January, so that way hopefully more people can attend. It was held at Critical Hit Game Lounge, which is a fantastic venue. You'll see it here in the video clips here shortly that I'll show you, because I was doing some videoing and some photographing of armies and the tables and stuff. But so there's 4 rounds. I can't remember the scenarios that we played, but you'll get those in the video clips as well. Had a ton of different prizing, so like they gave away stuff like best ambassador. They did stuff for like terrain, like a hobbyist enthusiast type thing, and then obviously like first, second, third, and placing like that. So they had a ton of awesome prizes. And what was really cool about the prizes is that Joseph did a lot of the painting of the models to a very high standard, and then Ben made sort of like a plinth or a scenic sort of display for them. And so like yeah, it was a pretty good event. Anyhow, without further ado, I'll give you the video clips and photos that I took during that event, so that way you can see the venue, see the armies that I faced, and go from there. Today I am here at Critical Hit Game Lounge in Curtis, Ontario, and we are here for the war that ends all wars. It is the 2018 League Finale GT, hosted by Ben Boomer, who's running around somewhere over there, and helped out by Father Justin and Joe as well, who you've seen on the channel before. I think it's 40 player maximum, 4 rounds, random scenarios, we don't know what they are. 600 point tournament with a max infantry or model count of 40, not including your heroes. So your heroes are above and beyond that 40. So it's going to be pretty good. I'm bringing some Thranduil's halls today. Everybody's just starting to arrive. The first round will start up at 10:10, and then we'll go from there. At this point in time, I'm just going to get my army out situated. I'm using Thranduil's halls, so Thranduil on Elk, some Palace Guard, Mirkwood Rangers, stuff along those lines. So let me come back momentarily. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this is my army for today's tournament and event. I unfortunately forgot my painted Legolas at home, so Dwayne, one of the attendees here at the event, has graciously allowed me to use his Legolas mounted for today's match. So Legolas is leading 1 warband of 12 models in total, so 3 Mirkwood Rangers, Mirkwood Rangers, 3 Mirkwood Elves with Elven Bow, 3 with Glaive, 3 with Shield, and then there's Thranduil in the back with 10 Palace Guard, 4 with Shield, 1 with Shield and Spear, and then 5 Spear Palace Guard, and then 2 Mirkwood Cavalry. So they both have shields as well, even though they're not mounted on there. Then Thranduil, who has Elf Bow, armor, or heavy armor, the Elven Blade, and the Circlet of Kings. So we're going to try this army out today, see how we do. I'm not going to hold my breath all that much, and we'll just see how it goes from there. Alright folks, so up next, what I'm going to do as everybody's getting ready, I'm going to go around, show you the different armies that people are using, take some pictures of them, show you guys, so you guys can sort of see, before the events happen in the tournament, the armies that I may be facing or that the other people are bringing, like I said. Anyhow, so I'll show you the armies next. 1 is about to start. I am facing off with Tom down there. Tom is bringing Gondor with an Avenger Bolt Thrower, surprise, surprise, being led by Huron the Tall, which is a great choice of model. You have 8 Rangers, or 10 Rangers, 6 Knights mounted with shields and spears, and then 11 Gondor, or Warriors of Gondor on foot with shield and spear, and then 1 that has a banner as well, being led by Ingold. As I showed you already, Thranduil on Elk, 2 Mirkwood Cavalry, and then 10 Palace Guard, 3 of each type of Mirkwood Elves, and then 3 Mirkwood Rangers. First round is storm the camp. You gotta set up within 12 inches of the corner edge and try to storm your opponent's camp in the opposite corner, where of course his Avenger Bolt Thrower is located. So we'll see how that turns out to be. Anyhow, we'll come back after the match. Tom, best of luck, dude. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the end of round 1. You saw the match between Thomas and I. Sorry, Tom. Good game, buddy. It was a very good game. And so it ended up... Hey, Steve! So it ended up being a 6-0 victory for myself. Legolas was sort of like the hero of the match for myself, because he's one that got me the 3 victory points by killing Huron the Tall with 2 auto hits on him. And then after that, Thranduil just made a mess of the lines to... Oh, Taylor. Just made a mess of his Gondorians that by charging with his elk. I ended up breaking him that, but I couldn't get into his camp. Hey, Lewis. So that is it for the end of round 1. We're going into lunch. After lunch, I think we're doing best painted and everything else, and then we're coming back to round 2 later. We'll come back with more shortly. Here we are, round 3. I have my opponent right behind me, Dwayne. Dwayne, how's it going, dude? We are facing off in round, I said 3, but I meant round 2. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So Dwayne and I, Dwayne's using the great company, so Aragorn, Halbrad, and what else? You got a whole bunch of Rangers?
7 Dunedain,
yeah.
And I have 4 Rangers in the north.
Awesome, where my Thranduil's Halls. So Lords of Battles is about who gets the most wounds. So Dwayne, best of luck, dude. Let's have fun. Here we are, end of round 2. Dwayne and I just finished off our match. I got a 11-0 victory over Dwayne, and his great company. It was an awesome game, Dwayne. Thank you very much, dude. Had a lot of fun. He played it right in the sense that he stood back and tried shooting me, and he had the right idea of getting in and pulling those angles where he's getting the cover from my bow shots, but then I was just able to move up the board before he could capitalize on his bows completely, and my bows really didn't do much, so it was once Thranduil and the rest of the Palace Guards got in there, having like fight 5 and 6 space where the combats happen, really made the the biggest difference for me. So we're going into round 3. I got 2 victories so far. Hopefully I can make it 3 going into the next round. Anyhow, stay tuned, watch, we'll see what happens. Here we are, round 3. It is Clash by Moonlight. Garrett and I are facing off against each other. Garrett, how's it going, dude?
Good.
It's hot in here. I'm not taking off all my clothes. But
It's too loud.
oh, too loud. I thought you said too hot. See, that's how loud it is. I couldn't hear you. Anyhow, we're playing Clash by Moonlight. We both are going 2-0. We'll see who goes 3-0 after this. And there's George.
Hey guys,
hi, George. I'm going up against Serpent Horde with my Thranduils. We'll see how it fares. Come back after round number 3. Alright guys, here we are at the end of round 3. We're now doing best painted and everything else. So we got another win. So I'm 3-0. 3 wins, 0 losses so far. That one was a 7-3 victory point for myself. So going into the 4th round with 3 wins, I'm hoping to make it 4. We'll see. So we'll do best painted, then come back with round 4. We'll catch up with that. We'll see what the scenario is and go from there. Till then. Alright guys, here we are, round 4. Top table between John and I, both going on 3 wins. The scenario for today is Fog of War, so we all have to note down a piece of terrain in our opponent's table edge that we want to take, a hero that we have to defend that's not a leader, and a hero that we have to kill that is not your enemy's leader. And then mark it down, keep it secret, keep it safe, and then hopefully get those objectives by the end of the game. So, John? Best of luck, dude. So, alright, so let's have some fun. We'll see what happens in round 4. Alright, folks, here we are. End of round 4. I got another victory, so I went 4-0 today. It was a 12-0 victory over John and his Isengard. I was able to sweep across the board, and once I got in, that's great. Your first league tournament too,
First
right?
league tournament.
So this guy, top table, League 1. So I'm hoping you keep on coming.
Yeah,
I hope you come out, improve, get better, and like I would love to face you again, dude. It was awesome.
Absolutely. Next time I come around, all my models will be painted, and you'll get a lot more fierce of a High Army coming against.
That's awesome.
You guys bet on it.
John, I appreciate it, dude. Great game, dude. I'll chat shortly. So guys, we'll come back with the award ceremony and everything else next, and then I'll do a recap later on with you guys. So.
Many of you know that have been in the OSBGL for the last 4 years. We have had a document called the League Handbook, which ended up growing into a fairly long and complicated document. So based on our feedback that we had at the last general members meeting last year in July at TGX, it was decided that we were going to simplify it and eliminate some of the extraneous, unnecessary stuff. So we have done that. It's probably maybe 50 or 60% of the size that it was, and we will be posting that on the Facebook site tomorrow, I would think. One of the big changes was something we talked about at the annual general members meeting, and it's detailed in that book, and that is we will be offering an optional paid membership of $10 a year, which is optional. And if you do pay the $10, there'll be certain benefits. You will get a piece of swag with it. But you will also have the right to vote at the annual general members meeting on decisions that the group makes, including incoming admin.
How we run member benefits for members that we spend money on.
So that's what I wanted to say, and Derek is just going to speak briefly about the membership.
And the other thing that the handbook will say is, what is this league, and how do you be part of it? What does it mean to be part of it? Because we have several hundred members on Facebook. So what's the difference between a Facebook member and one of you guys? There's a lot of people on Facebook whom some of us have had the privilege of meeting who are really never going to come to an Ontario event. We still care about their involvement, and we have been absolutely benefiting from having them involved and giving us ideas on the crafts they do and conversions, the way they paint, and there's a lot of good reasons for them to be part of OSBGL in some way, but not in the same way you guys are. So really the biggest thing about membership is we need to have a different group that is all the guys from Ontario who do come to events, so they can tell us what kind of events they want. That's the biggest reason. So if you pay to be a member, then you're the people who tell us what events you want and how we're going to run the league. It's $10 a year. Half of that is going to go into end-of-year prizing. You'll see some tonight. It gives us a budget to do some stuff with as a league so that we can actually give people trophies or advertise in places to recruit more members, this kind of stuff. The other half of it will go to swag if you want it. Some people have said they'd rather the money help the league, and we appreciate that. But there will be swag. Don mentioned that. Some of you have OSBGL movement templates. Some of you have seen OSBGL dice. I'm supposed to move.
I think Boomer's supposed to move.
Okay. If anybody's got one, maybe pull it and wave it. There's some really cool stuff we have built over time. Some of us have dice stat trackers, which this guy got made at Ottawa, and we're going to make more. We'll get sort of 4 rows of Justin here. So there are some neat ideas floating around the league of cost-effective things we can do, which will also be fundraising for the league. So if we can get some things made that are valuable to the members that you guys like, and we'll make enough of them that people can share, like this thing. And I'm almost here. Movement template. This is cool. 4 inches, 6 inches, 5 inches. Yeah, there's halfway mark. There's some cool ideas floating around here. Thank you. So we're going to do more of that kind of thing. Members will help us decide what to do. So look for an announcement in the next coming week-ish, and then we'll invite people to, at that point, pay. We'll use that money to put the first order in for the first set of swag, and we'll show you pictures with a big reveal of what I couldn't have ready for tonight that I hope to have ready for you tonight. So.
All right.
Yeah. So
it'll be PayPal. Everything will be PayPal. There is league email address. Yeah, and we'll post it on the Facebook. If you're not on the Facebook group, grab us before you go. We'll make sure you get at it. Hopefully everybody's a member of the Facebook group, but we'll get you at it.
Can we just give you cash tonight and avoid that?
I'll have to take good notes. Yes, we could do that if you want.
Thank you.
Sure.
Second meeting, annual general meeting.
The AGM will happen on, let's see,
July 20th.
July 20th.
The night between the days of TGX.
Yeah,
TGX.
so the Saturday night.
Central location. Yep, question?
Well, no, just to add on to your stuff, there was a trade group for the
Yeah.
Ontario people. If you want to join, just message me on Facebook.
So Facebook/groups/OSBGL is S++, and then everything else is connected there.
Just before I forget again, we also will be, we've been selling t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff through Blackfyre Productions. What do you call that account?
It's just Spreadshirt. Yeah.
So we've recently added like ball caps on there as well.
Yep, there's mugs, there's everything. Taylor's been crazy doing stuff.
Posted on our Facebook group soon.
Yep.
It hasn't been up until now, but
yep.
we will be posting.
If you guys
something that the website will do, just let me know and I can add it. If you want a specific thing, your name printed on a part of the shirt or something like that, I can add all those options into it.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, the reason we did that is because it is also a fundraiser for the league. When you buy anything with the league logo on it from that website, there's a small kickback to the league, and we again put it into pricing and advertising and stuff.
Also, if you're looking for the link right now, go on the Blackfyre Productions Facebook page. You'll be able to find it right there on the main page, like right at the top. So
JJ.
Yeah.
So just a quick question about the league memberships. If we join, is the for the voting, is it a physical meeting or is that some
Physical meeting.
If people can't make it to that, would you guys be able to do something like
proxy?
Live stream the event or something like that to make people who are farther away still be able to make it?
Now, we want to do things our members want.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming you're going to be a member and you want that, so yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. We might have to figure out the technical stuff.
The whole point of having the paid membership is to have a group of people that we can rely on and that they can tell us what to do, so that we're not just posting a poll on Facebook and saying, hey, what do you think we should do, and getting all these random people and comments of people who actually don't come out to any of our
You could just run the poll on just a closed group.
Yeah.
Well, we'd rather not have multiple additional groups.
Fair.
But for example, there was a really good question posted recently about what do we feel about proxies? Because there's a lot of GW stuff non-stock. So somebody wants to pay, Gallagher and Warriors was the example, as Rivendell. And basically this group said that should be fine. Especially because it's hard to go find stuff in stock at GW right now, and we just want to see more people play. And as long as it's clear and fair to your opponent, we want to have those kinds of discussions. So I mean, our history is our history, and there's reasons for everything that's been in our history, but you guys are the group we're going forward with, so we want it to work for this group. So that's the reason for it.
And we found a lot of the things that we tried to do online, like the former elections for admin and those sorts of things. It was a drawn out process. It bogged down the actual website, it bogged down the hobby. So if you care about any of that stuff, come out to our one night a year and tell us what to do, and then it's not bogging down the actual fun of the hobby and making it too political or something like that. So, yeah.
Okay, and this year we finally, for the first year on our 4th season, we have year-end league awards. Before and as the tournament awards, we're going to do the year-end, at least if we have received all the information. Okay, so Taylor is going to.
I'm going to do most of them. First off is Craftsman, which was an award that we talked as a group and figured out what could we do with some extra awards other than just first, second, and third. So one that we came up with was Craftsman. We decided to this year look at who won the most, best painted, best display boards, best things like that. Obviously we have a whole bunch of people who do great painting and those sorts of things throughout the list. Like I can just off the top of my head, like Michael Campbell's display board with his Delamroth was amazing. All of the OHA stuff that they do is spectacular. Ben, Joseph, all of those. Like, and I'm just rattling off a few off the top of my head. There's that. But we wanted something.
I bet you clap on the Plainlands too.
But we just wanted something concrete that
don't you?
that wasn't just us deciding. So we looked at what we had for information, and not all TOs actually provided it to us. But the person who doesn't realize this right now is that it was actually Derek who won the most, according to our staff. So, Alright. Next.
Yay, the first prize goes to admission.
And on that note, the next one, we wanted to look at most sporting. So we asked the members who are here today to vote for anybody that they've played throughout the year of who they thought was the most sporting and ranked first, second, and third. And then we gave point values of 3, 2, 1 to those. We added up the points. An honorable mention is George, wherever George is. But, and don't say it's rigged, but the person who won was Don.
Totally rigged.
Asking these guys about what we should do about things is trying to hide their names on the piece of paper.
Okay, where's the camera?
Taylor, just tell us what you won.
Yeah, nothing. No, I didn't even get the ones.
We kept him out of that discussion. He didn't know either. I didn't know either, actually.
No, neither of them knew what they won before they won it.
I didn't know anybody won that. Yeah.
And then the last one that we have is Ambassador. We thought about everybody throughout the year who's done some stuff, who's brought in new players, who's gone out to stores and run events, and who's done those sorts of things, and supported the league as a whole. One honorable mention that I have to make is Michael Campbell. I don't think has missed an event this year. And I always, anytime I find a new Toronto player, I'm like, Michael, go play this guy. And he will. Another honorable mention that I have to say is actually a new member that we have, and where is Cody? Cody. It's been a great support for our hobby, so we thank you very much.
Already brought in a lot of new players. Has a great store. Has tons of product for Lord of the Rings in his store.
Hooded Goblin all the way.
Woo! So definitely check them out. They run monthly events that aren't part of our league. They're running one of our league events this year though as well. So thank you for all of the support that you do, and thanks for coming out. We thought about it long and hard, and the person that we think that has supported the hobby the most prevalent on just not only a local stage but internationally and that sort of thing for our community is Adam Marcel. And then I didn't know that one. So now we're down to league standings, which I think you've got the phone, but he doesn't want to talk about it. So Don's
I'm doing the prizes.
Yeah.
I know where I am. The bottom.
I don't know. This is my first event, so.
Hey,
Okay, we're doing first, second, third. In third place, Derek Sack.
Favoritism!
All right, Derek.
Go to events. Go to every
Yes.
Yeah. Second place in the league overall. So Derek's score was 346, and for anyone that doesn't know, we have 80-point events and 100-point events. So like the winner of an 80-point event gets 80 points, and then second and third get lower, and then 100 gets 100 and down. So
the math's all in the
handbook. You take your top 4 scores of the whole year. So Derek, out of a possible 400 points, got 346.23. With 346.67, keeping it in the family. So he beat him out by like 0.4.
Still better. Get the old man.
Still better.
Never gonna hear the end of it.
Sorry, Ronan. Sorry, buddy.
So last but not least, in first place with 367.66.
Okay, we got
couldn't be here today.
Drum roll.
Andrew Brock.
He still won and he wasn't here today.
Half is Derek.
You gonna tell him?
No, I'm going to take a picture with it.
Well, you kind of know me already. You'll never see this. That's all that
All right, well that's it. That's
Congratulations, Andrew.
All right, Andrew.
I'm a proxy.
Sorry, that's all good. Just
we are so it's fine.
Yeah, Photoshop your business.
Okay, that's it for the business, and we'll hand this over to Ben, who can tell you about today's tournament.
Still recording, yeah?
still recording. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but.
Yeah. I thought we were doing the other stuff first.
That's okay. It's a fine, man. It's cool.
Thanks for coming out today.
Hey.
It's pretty good. Sorry for all the hiccups with I was trying out a new system, and it works pretty good, but definitely still some hiccups. So anyways, let's get straight to it. We have 9 prizes from most best painted, most thematic, good and evil for both. Wooden spoon, good and evil, and then our top 3 prizes and a bunch of door prizes. So we're going to start with the wooden spoon.
Woo! I didn't get it.
No.
Damn it. Unfortunately.
Evil. So player who played an Evil Army Day wooden spoon. Last place was Cole West.
Yeah, Cole! Woo! Yeah.
Alright, and in last place, who played a good army, is Andrew, and I have letter P. It's Antonio's friend.
All right.
Great start to my first game of the week.
Yeah.
And then for best painted, the best painted evil by a landslide was George.
Yeah. Hey! George, that's awesome.
Thanks.
George, hey.
Watch your eye.
Hope you don't mind me zooming in a little bit from time to
Good
time.
army was Blake Dixon.
All right, Blake. Also traveled from the States, so good for him.
Also, he wins for traveling the furthest.
Yes. In this weather, congrats, bro. Thank you.
All right, and for most thematic
Don't celebrate his baptism.
Wait, no, it is good. Is Nick Benny.
Hobbits. The Shire.
With Gandalf?
Yes, with Gandalf.
And the most thematic and evil was Cameron Kuzik.
Cameron.
What army, Cameron?
What? Yes. Yes.
All right, and for our top players, in third place we have Derek Satnick.
Hey, Derek.
And in second place we have Will. I'm not going to pronounce your last name.
Shaw.
And in first place, the clean sweep,
Andrew Brock. No.
What?
Adam Marcel.
Hey. Yes. I want to keep this.
I will tackle it before this.
Alright.
Awesome.
That's fine.
He's got a rubbery flash.
And I'm going to choose up the John Doerr Boromir, very well painted by Joseph Hanley, so thank you very much. And the display is done by Ben, so thank you. So, yes.
You fulfill all your dreams, Tim.
What is this? That's a beautiful. So let's see.
Awesome. All right.
So let's slide.
Thank you so much. so what did you think of that? It was a great event. It snowed a lot that day, and so it was kind of hard and treacherous getting together or getting home afterwards after that event. But we had a bunch of fun. I ended up coming away with both Ambassador of the 2018 League year and first place with my Thranduil's Halls list. I decided on Thranduil's Halls just because it sort of got me back into playing Middle Earth SBG back when the Mirkwood Rangers came out. I bought those, painted them up, and then that just sort of re-sparked me getting into playing. And then from there I reached out to Don, who is one of the main guys for the Newmarket Games Club. And if you haven't checked out the OSGBL Facebook, or not Facebook group, but YouTube channel too, they do tournament reviews there. But hooked up with him, we started playing, and then it just sort of spread from there into various other things. But yeah, so Thranduil's Halls. The reason I enjoyed Thranduil's Halls, you know, with Palace Guards, because A, they get the increased fight value, so they go up to fight value 6 when they're near Thranduil, plus they get a +1 to wounds, so they're strength, basically hitting at like equal to strength 4, so that was pretty fun. Some of the factors with that army that I was playing, that I played during that tournament was Legolas. He was a key factor for me just because I could pick out mounts for the and shoot out the mounts from below enemy heroes, as well as certain models. So like I like sometimes to use the auto hit on Ring Race, because if you by chance roll that 6 to wounds, then you only need a 4, and you do have those might points. And with the Ring Race, they only have usually 2 fate and then 1 wound. So if you can burn through those, it's a great use for Legolas. So like that was good. And then I had a couple of the knights there. So the knights were pretty cool because again they get the +1 to wound when within a certain distance of Thranduil, but they also get the banner reroll, which is pretty cool. So I went with that. At 600 points, I thought the Thranduil performed very well. Garrett did kill him in our match, if I can remember correctly, but he still did really well. At that fight 7 with the Elven Blades, you're pretty much going to win most of your matches. And then also giving Aura of Dismay, so everybody within 6 inches of him getting Terror, and then Nature's Wrath rolled on a 6. Like, that is fantastic. So that was the factions that I used, and I really did enjoy them. I will probably pull them out sometime again this year for another event. I'm not sure what one, but either way, that was the first event. It was called the War to End All Wars, like I said, and it was the league finale for the 2018 year. So that was January. February, we rolled into Fly to Peterborough, You Fools, which was ran by Chris and Travis. They're both, well, Chris now lives in Barrie, but he's from Peterborough area, and Travis is a Peterborough regular who lives there. So that was held February 23rd, 2019. It was the first official tournament in our league, or 2019 league. It was a 700 point event. There was no model minimum or maximum. All that they hoped is that you had your models painted up, and you could use proxies, but you had to put it pass it by Chris and Travis. They were just hoping for more conversions though. So again, like I said, held February 23rd. It was 4 rounds. I was using at this point in time a Gondor list. It was Gandalf, the white on Shadowfax, so, and then I had the Knight of the White Tower and Kyrian, and then it was basically Rangers of Gondor, some Knights of Gondor kitted out, and then basically Warriors of Minas Tirith, shield and spear, shield and sword, and that was my list. It wasn't really an optimized list per se, but it was what I took because it's what I had and I wanted to play it and try it out. So first round was up against Chris Streets. It was a Fog of War scenario, and so he was playing Umbar. So he had like he had the Black Numenorians and a whole bunch of Arbalisters, and then just basic Corsairs. So I had my work cut out against me because they had a higher fight value than most of my guys, and B, the throwing daggers, he rocked with those, if I can remember correctly. I think in round number 1, I shouldn't say round number 1, but when we actually met in combat, the throwing daggers just wrecked me. I think he killed 6 of my guys in 1 round of shooting when we first clashed. Oh, and I forgot to say, I did have the Avenger Bolt Thrower too, so that was something that sort of helped me out as well. So in that scenario, I can't remember who I picked. I think I picked his bosun as the hero to kill. There was a terrain piece of a wall in the back, like a ruins wall. That was the terrain piece, and I wanted to keep around. I think it was Kyrian that I want to keep alive in that one. I managed to keep Kyrian alive. I did not manage to get to the terrain piece because we clashed, and it was just a basic push and shove. And I ended up killing his hero that he wanted to keep alive. Yeah, so it was a fun match. It was a tough slog. I ended up pulling out the victory in that one, which was pretty good. Chris is a great player. I always have fun playing him. He's been here a couple of times, did some battle reports, stuff like that. So yeah, it was a tough one just against the Corsairs and such, and like the Avenger Bolt Thrower, I had to move into position, couldn't just shoot right off the bat, so like that sort of hampered it a little bit. And by the time it moved into position, we were already sort of meeting in combat, so I couldn't pick the best targets either. But I got the win, which was good. It was fantastic. Up next, I went up against Mike Collins and his Mordor list. I think he had 2 Fell Beasts and then a whole bunch of like orcs and such. It was Seize the Prize. So I believe I got to the artifact and dug it up first, and then was able to sort of run around with it. I ended up getting the win with my Gondor, and it was good. Mike and I always have fun playing each other. It's going back a couple of months, so like things are kind of foggy. I don't remember exactly how the battles went and that, but Mike and I always have a good time, like I said. He had he always like I guess he wants to face like Andrew Brock all the time, and he wants to like always try to progress himself, and so like he always tries to push himself in like our matches and stuff, so it's pretty funny. Mike, if you're watching, I love you, buddy, and I miss you. We need to get together again sometime soon. So round 3 went up against Father Justin. So he had a double dragons list up against my Gondor list, and he annihilated my army. Yeah, annihilated. I think he killed all 3 of my heroes by the end of it, and broke me. But I ended up getting guys into his side of the board, into his camp, because we were playing Storm the Camp. So I was able to, I killed one of the 2 dragons by the end of it, and I was able to get guys into his side of the board, into his camp, uncontested. But he annihilated my army. Like, if it was to continue further than it did, he probably would have tabled me eventually. But thankfully the game ends prior to that being able to happen. So I got the win up against him, but it was a really tough battle. Like, it was an uphill battle trying to keep those dragons going. Kyrian was good with tying down the one dragon because of his bonus to the courage, and Gandalf, well, he eventually died to Dragonfire. Actually, no, he got burned by Dragonfire, and then got the fate save, and then was charged by the dragon and eaten pretty much alive. So it was a tough battle, but it was fun nonetheless, and I got the win on that one. So I was at this point in time 3-0, going in the last round, top table. Who do I go up against? This is Ben Boomer. Ben Boomer is always a good player in our league here in Ontario at the OSBGL. He was playing Grey Company, so he had the twins, he had Aragorn, he had Legolas, Gimli, Halbarad, and I think 1 or 2 Rangers of the North, if I can remember correctly. I think maybe 1 actually. But oh my goodness, we played Contest of Champions. I kind of misplaced or misdeployed my army because I put Gandalf was obviously my leader. He was in the center, well, within 3 inches of the center of the board, back a little bit with his line of guys in front of him, just sort of try to give him some protection. That didn't work because I forgot to then put everybody else up closer to him, which is what I should have done to sort of give Gandalf some space to be able to cast magic on guys and be effective. But more or less, Gandalf was tied down every single round, and so Ben ended up pulling away with the victory on that one. He was just rolling really hot, and by this point in time in this match, I was rolling really crap. But it was an uphill battle just with all the strong heroes that he had, like Aragorn and Gimli and all that stuff. I did manage to kill one of the twins. I think I killed Halbarad, and I think that's it. I think I only killed maybe the Ranger of the North too, but I think that's all I killed. It wasn't much. and my bolt thrower was useless throughout that scenario. But yeah, so he ended up pulling away the win, getting the total victory, coming first place at the Fly to Peterborough You Fools tournament. I tied via record, so I had 3 wins and a loss for 3rd place with Garrett Pogson, who was using Return of the King with the Aragorn and the King of the Dead and a whole bunch of like Warriors of the Dead or Riders of the Dead. So I tied with him, but he had 1 more victory point than I did to sneak out that 3rd place finishing. So it was pretty good showing there. We had fun. That tournament was held at Dueling Grounds, which is one of the, when I say local stores to me, it's an hour drive. Like, I literally live in the middle of nowhere, and so any stores that really sell anything or host events are at the closest ones are an hour. So an hour and a bit north of me is Sir Games Lot. An hour south of me is Addictive Hobbies and a couple of others, as well as the Games Workshop Durham Center, which I go to host events and stuff such as like game stays and demos. And then to the east of me is Dueling Grounds, which is another great store which services the Peterborough area. And Wayne there is a great member of the community, supporting the different tournaments and events and everything else. And then yeah, and south of me as well, well, sort of southeast actually, is Critical Hit Game Lounge, and again, that venue is fantastic. It's sort of like a board game cafe type place, so it's a great venue. As you saw from the video clips, like the place is magnificent. It has a little store that you can sort of do like sale on point of sale purchases. So like if they don't have it in their little section of paints and models, you can bring it in or purchase it, and the owner will bring it in. So yeah, so it was a really good event. Those are the first two events of this year. January 2019 was the War to End All Wars, which is the GT finale for the 2018 year. And then Fly to Peterborough You Fools was the first official tournament of the 2019 league year here in the OSBGL. So yeah, so far I got first in one, third in another. So that was pretty good. But that is it. That is all. That is the quick sort of tournament reviews from my memory, because again, it happened back in January, February. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We're going to be doing more tournament reviews as the year goes on of the tournaments that I go to. Not just here in Ontario, but maybe Seven Stones, because I'm going there in May, and then any other big ones that I go to. Up next, the next video, we're going to cover, get caught up into the March and April months, because I've already went to the events. So up next we'll do the Hot Lead, which is War of the Ring, hosted by George and Jason and the rest of the OHA guys, and then as well as Council of the Wise 4.0, which was in April, hosted by Derek, who is one of the admin of the league. Anyhow, so that was coming up in the next video. Guys, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, ignite your hobby.